Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is the first video of this new channel, so let's kick it off together. This channel is going to concentrate on transferable machine guns. That's what I collect, but I'm also going to sprinkle in some oddball guns like this. So if you like that kind of stuff, if you like full auto, subscribe and let's kick this thing off. But to kick it off, we're gonna go with the small stuff. I'll do a full auto Tech 9 right after this, so back-to-back videos. But very first real video, I put some shorts and stuff like on there on YouTube, whatnot, and that's just to kind of draw interest. But this is the official first one. But let's get to it. So what do we have here? This is a 1954 Ruger Mark I. It's a U.S. Army gun. So it was issued to the U.S. Army. You can see the top of the receiver is stamped right around here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's interesting. It's got it's an integrally suppressed gun. That means it's got a barrel up to about here, and then a bunch of baffles. So I know it looks like a yardstick, whatever, of a barrel. You're like, man, it's like, is that freaking like 20 inches long or whatever? But no, the barrel's actually, you know, maybe four to 5 inch, no, about 4 inches, and the rest is baffles. And the barrel is also ported, so it's got ports, like 3 ports. I think I might have a image of it I'll throw up on the video, but it's got ports somewhere around here. Another cool thing is this thing's got a bolt lock. So when this thing came into my SOT local, gun shop, it was part of a order that I placed. It was a 6-figure order. Most of it was machine guns, but despite it, having MP5s and AUGs and full auto AUGs, whatever, like in that package, people couldn't put this one down. I was like, it's like, this is the cheapest of all of them, but like it intrigued so many people because they've never seen that. So I figured let's kick it off with something like this. If people were so excited to see it at the gun shop, maybe you guys are going to be equally as excited. But so I've never shot this gun. We're going to shoot it together. Hopefully it runs as it's supposed to. I've never had an issue with these Ruger's Mark series guns having any sort of reliability issues. They just keep running. This one's got I've shot several. Right now I have close to a dozen Mark series guns, but not one like this. I've never had one with a bolt lock. I've never shot a gun with a bolt lock, so that will be interesting to see. That was something that the gun shops wanted to see if their machinists could kind of knock this off. So they played around with this. So they'll probably be launching it, but it's a pretty simple design. I probably won't go over it much, but it's a shaft that locks the bolt. The bolt, goes back and forth through the receiver. It's got a milled hole running kind of across it, and then you have this shaft that you rotate that allows it to unlock and slide towards the bolt, and you have this leaf spring that presses it and locks it in to the bolt. And so to kind of unlock it, you pull it back and then rotate it. So there, I just did it. So you can see if I rotate it, and now it's all right. But you get the picture. So we'll test that out. We'll shoot it. We'll run some ammo through, various types of ammo, and see how the bolt lock works. As I mentioned, I have like a dozen of these. This is my first one. This is a Ruger Mark III Hunter. You know, I got it as my second gun. My first gun, it was like when Glock Gen 3 came out, and you know, as a 21-year-old, I wanted something cool, so I got that, and then I sold that a couple of months later, and I bought this, and I've kept it ever since. And you'd think, you know, most 20-something-year-olds would be like, I want to get something cool, so they'll go for a Glock, they'll go for a 1911, something cool. But the one that stuck around was this. All the other stuff I sold, I got all that kind of stuff now, but it goes to show you that, you know, if you've never shot one of these or like owned one of these, you might not appreciate how nice of a gun these Mark series guns are. They're tack drivers, they're super reliable, very high quality. So even though this was more expensive than like a Glock or a 1911, it was still, in my mind, it was worth buying over the cooler stuff. So, and you know, like I said, I kept it ever since. So I got Ruger Mark 1s, Ruger Mark 2s, 3s, 4s. I have all of them and different variants within those, but none as unique as this one. So we'll see how this one behaves. So we got various types of ammo. We got all CCI, because CCI is the best, as everybody knows. We got CCI Quiet. This stuff does not cycle. I've never had it cycle in any sort of semi-automatic. I expect it not to cycle with this. We got the Subsonic, which is pretty much no different than the Standard Velocity. They're both 40 grain bullets. This one's traveling at 1050. Standard Velocity is traveling at 1070. Both of those are subsonic, so if one is cheaper than the other, get whatever is cheaper, because they're not going to notice the difference. You got the mini mags. So going back to the ported barrel, the purpose of that ported barrel is to slow down supersonic bullets down to subsonic. So these mini mags are kind of cooking at 1235 feet per second, so we need to bring that down to like the high 10s, so it's like 1080 or whatever. And we'll see if this can slow it down. So I've never shot it, like I said, so let's shoot this thing together. I'm gonna shoot these two back to back, just so you can get an appreciation for the amount of suppression that it does. So I'll be wearing hearing protection, and then I will probably shoot them literally one in each hand, so you can get a real direct comparison of how much quieter this is compared to unsuppressed. And then we'll play around with the bolt lock. We'll play around with, you know, the hyper velocity stuff, or I guess it's not hyper, it's high velocity, and see what happens. But all right, let's meet outside and go from there. All right, now for the fun part. So we're going to test these back to back. We're going to start off with the Mark III, the non-suppressed one, and then followed right after with the Mark I, integrally suppressed. We're going to kick it off with the Standard Velocity. So let's get to it. Wow. That's pretty impressive. that is definitely impressive. I don't know if you can hear it, but I could barely hear it with the earplugs in. So, all right, so let's we're gonna do one in each hand, but this time we're gonna do the subsonic stuff. All right, next up we're gonna test the subsonic. So this stuff right here is only 20 feet per second slower than the last stuff, so it's probably not gonna make an audible difference, but never know. So we're gonna test it one in each hand, taking turns. So starting with the loud one first. Yeah, that's a pretty big difference. All right, so what we're gonna test now is the mini mags. These are supersonic, so they're traveling 1235. Let's see if the ported barrel slows it down to subsonic. I think it will, but let's find out. 5 rounds. Definitely louder, but still subsonic. So definitely hearing safe for sure, but louder than the standard velocity stuff, which is expected. More powder, right? All right, so we're gonna test the standard velocity stuff again, except this time we're gonna test the bolt lock feature of the gun. So we're gonna run 5 rounds through the gun. The first 4, we're going to just shoot it as normal, and then I'll engage the bolt lock, and let's see if we can hear an audible difference with the bolt not cycling. Yeah, slightly quieter, maybe by ear, probably 10% maybe, if I had to put a number on it. I don't know if it comes across on the video, but slightly quieter. Okay, final test. We're gonna do the CCI quiet. Now this stuff is traveling at 710 feet per second. It's not potent enough to cycle a semi-automatic. But what we're going to do is use the bolt lock. So this is going to be as absolutely quiet as possible through this gun. So let's just see how quiet that is. That was pretty ridiculously quiet. So you can hear the target's about 40 yards away, and the impact was twice as loud as the shot. So, and 22 impact isn't very loud, you know, so that's pretty impressive. But well, if you like this video, you know, like and subscribe. Like I said, this is kind of like the launch of the channel. A lot of the stuff's going to be full auto machine gun stuff, but oddball things like this. If you enjoyed it, subscribe. Let's launch this, kick it off together, you know.